Perfect. All right, should we start with our little poll first? Just so I get a rough idea. Yeah, if you would like to complete this poll first, just as a bit of an interactive part of our presentation. In the meantime, I will just introduce myself. Hello, everybody. My name is Stephanie, and I'm talking to you from Winter Wonderland Heidelberg. We are currently covered in snow here. I heard you don't get this very much in California. So when you come to Heidelberg, you will definitely experience all 4 seasons. Yeah, I work at a school of business, and my job is to look after our incoming exchange students, mostly for your application and academics. So I will be the one issuing the acceptance and also, yeah, change your courses if you have to, do your transcripts, or everything academically. That's what I'm in charge for. And then we also have a central international office downstairs, and they do everything else like arrival, orientation, housing, and all that kind of stuff. Perfect. Oh, so we already have the results. Okay, maybe I could answer a few questions already. Only the one and the first and the last one are answered. So do you need German to live in Germany? No, you don't. Your courses here at the university will be taught in English, of course. If you know some German, you're welcome to take some courses in German as well. But you can also take German language courses here as well. And also everyday life, it's very, very normal that everybody speaks English. Usually kids start learning English in 1st grade sometimes, and sometimes even before that in kindergarten. So even when you go shopping or go somewhere to a restaurant, of course, if you take a German course with us, maybe you will be able to order your food in German, but you do not need the language. And perfect. We would love to have you guys back. We have welcomed Fullerton students for years now. So we hope when things get better, hopefully you guys can come. Okay, perfect. Should I just close? Yeah, I can just close it. Perfect. All right. So if you Google Heidelberg, this is probably one of the most common pictures that shows up when you hit images. Of course, we are famous for our beautiful castle. And this is the old town here, the old bridge. All the shops and restaurants are right here. And our campus is about 10 minutes by bike from the city center. It's very, very easy to get around. We also have a tram stop here at the university that you can take into the city, or even walking. It doesn't take longer than 20 minutes. So it's a very, very convenient location for you. To give you a bit better idea, we are located in the heart of Europe, as you can see here, more or less in the south, very, very close to France. It takes about 1 hour by car. And of course, you come here to study, but I'm pretty sure you guys love to travel as well. So you could check out some of these places while you are here. This is what most of our international students do. We have a very good train system, either with Deutsche Bahn, German train, or Flixtrain, which is a pretty new train, and they have really good prices. For example, one trip from Heidelberg to Berlin up here, it's sometimes only 10 euros. And with Deutsche Bahn, you would pay 100 euros at least. Switzerland is only 3 hours. Amsterdam by train is 5 hours. And all these places are really, really close. And we do have these low-cost flights. Sometimes if you're lucky, you can get a really good deal to some of these places here. So we like to do, if we can, we like to give you a free Friday or Monday, free from lectures, of course, to give you like a long weekend so you can use it for travel if you can. Here's another, some nice images of our city, of our town, and some fun facts. It is definitely a student city. So 1 out of every 4 inhabitants is a student. We have at least 5 or 6 universities in our town. And we have a very American touch still to our town, because Heidelberg used to be the US Army headquarters. If you walk or bike around town, you will run into a lot of old military buildings, and some are used for student housing now, not for our campus, but for the University of Heidelberg, the public university. If you look at this beautiful building, I'm sure you would have never guessed that this is actually the university library from the University of Heidelberg, which is the first university of Germany and was built in 1386. So it is very, very old. And if you are a student at one university here in the area, you still get to check out some books here if you like. And even if you don't need any books there, I always recommend taking a look. And this building is located here in the city center. So I would definitely check it out. It's really, really beautiful. And in the castle, of course, that's a must. That's a nice spot to hang out at. And like I said, I always talk about biking. It's very, very common to get around the city by bike. It is not worth getting a car. You don't need it here. It's probably, it takes you much longer, and it's hard to get parking. So just tram, bike, or walk is totally fine. And just a fun fact, if you didn't know, the bicycle was actually invented here. We have a population of 160,000 in comparison to a total of 83 million. It's much, all of Germany, it's much, much smaller than the US, of course. But it's a medium, it's not a small town feel, but it's not too big. And if you do feel like city life, you can take a trip to Frankfurt, which is an hour away, or to Stuttgart, which is also an hour away, or you can even go to Berlin, Munich, or other places, which are, it's a perfect weekend trip, for example. And Frankfurt, by the way, is also the airport you would probably arrive at when you come join us. When you get the presentation later on, I have included some really cool videos from our university and also from Heidelberg that I recommend to check out. It's a bit long to fit into our presentation now, but check it out later on. I will answer the questions in the chat when I'm done with the presentation. Yeah, here you can see a picture of our campus, which is pretty much the center of our campus. I'm sitting right here at the moment, and you will be taking your courses in this tower building, which happens to be the tallest building of Heidelberg. You get a beautiful view to the castle from this side, and if the weather allows, you can even see the start of France from this side. And this is where you enter. There's a little coffee area here, and there's some more lecture rooms over here. We are very proud that we are barrier-free. So we do, for example, I have a colleague who has a wheelchair. We also have a student who has a wheelchair. So it's very easy for them to get into the elevator and also into the lecture room. And we are one of the oldest private universities of Germany. This is the entire campus. The tower building is here, and the administrative offices are here. And if you take the tram to the city, this is where the stop is, and the bus or the tram stop. And over here is our student housing area. This is where you will be offered a room to rent. I think it starts, a single room starts at 350 euros a month. I guess that's a bit over $400. And you can also have with a roommate, and a single room is a bit more expensive. I have linked information in here for you to check out later. We do have also a gym that you can join with a pool. And we have, it's called a cube. This is where you can get lunch and breakfast. You also have a kitchen in your dorm buildings where you can cook if you prefer that. There is a supermarket in walking distance, maybe 10 minutes from campus. It's just a normal grocery store where you can get everything. And but you can also get an affordable lunch here. For example, for a dessert, salad, and a lunch, you pay about €5, I would say. And comparing our living costs in Heidelberg to California, I would say it's a bit lower here, even though it's not super cheap, but I think California is more expensive in total. Here are all the faculties or all the study fields we are offering. You would be studying here at the School of Business if you come to us. And this is also some other faculties or programs we are offering. We don't expect you to be a business student, but you should have some business related studies that you are doing at the moment. This is information from this year. If you get the presentation later on, you can download the course schedule right here and the matching course description right here to see if we offer any of the courses that would fit into your field of interest and also your study program. And this is, like I said, from this year. Next year is not available yet, but it would look similar. Something that's quite important for you to know is our special block system. We do not have the traditional summer or spring and fall semester. That's how you call it. We do have them technically, but we divide our semester in 4 blocks. So 8 blocks total. And the first block starts in October. American students usually join us in block 8 of the, like kind of in the transition period of the years. This is when our Fullerton students joined us in the past. Just because just before of block 8, we have the summer break and a lot of, I think about 5-week summer break. And this is a perfect time for American students to maybe arrive a little early and use this time to travel Europe a little bit before you start studying with us. So this is what the students have done in the past. And yeah, you can take a look at this in more detail later if you like. You are asked to choose 1 or 2 business courses per block, which equals about between 6 and 8 European credits. The difference to the traditional semester system is that you take your exam in each end of each block. So in week 5 of each block, you take your exam and you get a chance to focus on one topic total and don't have numerous classes at once. We've got really positive feedback about this in the past, just so you don't have a crazy exams period at the end, but you take a course, completely focus on that and take your exam in the 5th week and then move on to the next course. So the first course and exam is checked off and then you move on to the next. And we would prefer you to stay about 3 blocks total and longer, of course, but not less than 3 blocks. Ideally, US students usually join us from block 8 to block 2 to the following year. And this is usually you arrive in July, August, depending on if you have some travel plans or not. And block 2 is done just before Christmas. So if you prefer to be home for Christmas, that is absolutely possible. Or sometimes in the past, some families just came over here and they took some Christmas trips before heading back home together. So this is something we have more details on our website, and we will, of course, provide updated information to your university whenever it's ready. Another different or another special, special difference about us is the way we teach. It's called CORE. It stands for Competence-Oriented Research Education. So it does not happen very often that you will sit in your course and a teacher will just talk to you all the time. It is a very interactive way of teaching we are doing. And most of the time, also your exams are hands-on exams. For example, in the marketing class, like it is showed here, this is our wonderful teacher, Lawrence. He's very passionate about marketing and he will help you develop some kind of product. So at the end of your course, you will be presenting something. So it's kind of like a real life situation that will happen in your work life later on as well. So I have linked our core description here as well, if you are interested in reading up about it. But basically, it means that it is more learning by doing. So the lecturer is, of course, there for you to provide all the practical and academical information you need, but you will just be very proactive in your learning. So that's a lot more fun than just sitting in class and listening. And that's pretty much it. At the end of the slide, I included my contact information. It's right here. If you should happen to have any additional questions later on, you're welcome to email me directly, or you can also ask your home coordinator to get in touch. I'm more than happy to help ask or answer any questions you might have. So that's it. I think I can I just open the chat here? Oh, there it is. Okay. Please. Okay.
Thank you so much, Stephanie.
Perfect. All right. Yeah. Thank you very much for listening. And I'm available for questions if there are any.
Right. Yeah. So if anyone has any questions, feel free to unmute yourself right now. And you can ask a question, or you can just go ahead and put your question into the chat.
Mm-hmm. I just open it.
Vielen Dank.